Canseco on the bench, and they supply a lot of power to this ball club.
Then we go to the Oakland defense, and it's 5 o'clock local time here just shortly thereafter. Tough to play this time of day, isn't it?
And especially in the outfield, Skip, because in right field, the sun is right into the right fielder's eyes. And if you look at this outfield, the Oakland A's, not a lot of speed in left and right. Terrence Long can cover ground, but Stairs and Grieve, not a lot of speed there.
And Gil Heredia getting ready, tuning up for a playoff start. The Butterflies have to be jumping, even though he's a little bit of a veteran. He's been around the block in both leagues. But he put together a pretty good year this year, didn't he?
He had an excellent year, and the reason that he pitched so well is he threw a lot of strikes. He stayed ahead of the hitters. And he told me he was going to use a fastball, a slider, and a splitter. He said he will throw an occasional curveball, but basically he's going to be a sinker ball pitcher. He gets a lot of ground balls, and he's a guy that tries to stay ahead of the hitters. Okay,
let's take a look at the umpires assigned to this game by Major League Baseball. Tim Wilkie is behind the plate with Chuck Merriweather at first, Tim McClelland at second, Paul Schreiber at third. Well, you see him, Al Clark in left field, and Jeff Nelson in right. And the umpires have their new little uniforms that they helped design, huh?
Yeah, kind of cute.
Yeah, they've got the men in cream now. Umpires have cream-colored and gray uniforms. So we're about ready to go. Art Howe just loose as a goose before the game when we talked to him. He's confident his team will play well. Nobody's going to predict that they're going to win because they don't know, but he feels this team will not be bothered at all by the playoff pressure. I think it's a great break for them to play at home first, don't you?
I don't think there's any doubt, and I guarantee you Joe Torre is really upset because they're not starting this series in Yankee Stadium. I mean, I think that, that gives them a big plus starting at home.
So we're about ready to go. By the way, I should mention I'm here. Old Skip is here because Bob Costas is on his way back from another sensational job on the Olympics in Sydney, and I'm just thrilled and honored that NBC gave me a chance to work a couple of these games before Bob returns, and it's fun to work with an old friend like you. It makes it a lot easier.
Well, we'll have a lot of fun.
That's the plan. That's what it's all about. Chuck Knobloch leads it off. This place isn't full yet. There's a lot of room out in the center field sections. Hopefully they're still filing in. Normally, they call that Mount Davis out there, and normally that's all blocked off, but not today. Here we go. A strike, and we're underway. Knobloch hitting .283, 5 homers, 26 RBIs. He has a home run in his career against Heredia. And he lines a single to center, so that's how the game started. Whoops. He long kicked it into the left center field corner. Knobloch gets another base, and he's going to stop at second.
Well, Terrence Long went into a slide for some reason trying to catch that ball, and I don't know exactly why. But that's the reason that Joe Torre said he wanted Knobloch in the lineup, a contact hitter. He wants to put his contact lineup out there. First pitch was a slider. There's another slider down and away, and you see Long, he just kind of slides into it. I don't know exactly what he was trying to do. Now watch right there. He just kind of plays it off to the side and slides, but it was a routine single. But it's a single and an error.
As it should be. He needn't feel too badly. That's not the only weird play that's happened in the first inning today. Here's Derek Jeter hitting .339, hit .339 for the year, I should say. 10 out of 21 against Heredia. Did it hit him?
Well, it's foul ball. No. Well,
Jeter's on his way to first. He doesn't know.
All right, but what happened is he actually bunted at the ball. He's saying he bunted at it. But now they're changing it.
Joe Merriweather makes the call from first base.
Art Howe's going to come out and argue this, and I don't blame him. He called it a strike, which meant that he attempted it to bunt at it. If you attempt to bunt at it and it hits you, it's still a strike. Well, the question is whether he attempted to bunt at this ball. Well, he tries to pull it back, but in my opinion, the bat was out there a long time. Now, see if he pulls it back before the ball gets there. Well, he was trying to get out of the way. So I guess if he didn't call it a strike, then he should be awarded first base.
So runners at first and second with no one out, and the game has started somewhat sorrowfully for Oakland.
but Tim Wilkie was motioning that it was a foul tip. Now, I guess the point is you watch the umpire. Watch what the umpire calls. And you can see it looks like it does hit him on the finger, but see right there, the umpire's calling it a foul tip, not a hit by pitch.
Paul O'Neill is the batter, and the Yankees have a great chance to do some early damage. A strike to Paul. O'Neill, a .283 hitter on the year, drove in 100 runs, 18 homers. He hasn't had much luck against Gil Heredia in his career. He's 4 out of 24. Double play ball, 6, 4, 3. Boy, there's a big play. Runner at third, 2 out. Just what the doctor ordered for Oakland.
Well, Randy Velarde and Miguel Tejada has turned in one of the better double play combinations in all of baseball. This is a perfect 6 to 4 to 3. That's right in double play lane, they call it. And it's just playing catch. Tejada plays catch with Velarde, and he plays catch with Giambi at first base. Very easy. 6-4-3.
Bernie Williams is the batter with a runner at third and 2 out. Bernie Williams will drive you crazy if you're an opponent. He takes forever at the plate. He's very... I'm not knocking him because it surely works for him.
It does work.
It takes him a long time to get set.
Maybe that's part of his game plan.
Could be. He had another fine year. Comes up empty there.
That's the splitter he talked about. And a good pitch there. Bernie Williams got off to a great start. In fact, a lot of people were pushing him for MVP the first half of the season. Then he had some injuries and tailed off towards the end of the season.
Right in there.
And there you see what we're talking about in the outfield. They're shading their eyes. In fact, Terrence Long, there's a better view of it. Terrence Long shading his eyes, and he has the shades on. But I think it's more difficult for the right fielder than any other part here. Anything in the right center field.
Got him. And it was right there.
Beautiful pitch.
The Yankees threatened but failed to score. Bottom of the first, no score.
And the key performer there is Jason Giambi. He makes everything happen for this ball club.
Tell you what, when a fellow like Mo Vaughn says flatly that he deserves to be the most valuable player, that's a pretty good compliment from a guy who's been there himself.
Yeah, Mo knows what it takes to be an MVP. And the defense. Here you see the Yankees. Williams in center field, a Gold Glove winner, but Justice and O'Neill both with injuries. Justice with the bad knee, O'Neill with the bad hip. So Bernie Williams has to cover a lot of ground out there in center field.
Roger Clemens, 13-8 with a 3.70 earned run average, worked 204 innings in the regular season.
And he got there in a strange way, Skip. That was his first 14 starts. He was 4-6. His last 18, he was 9-2. So that's how he ended up 13-8. He actually pitched well down the stretch.
Young Terrence Long will lead it off for, well, you shouldn't say young Terrence Long. You say young about just about all these Oakland performers. Billy Bean, along with Art Howe, have put together quite a murderer's row out here.
And I think this was the missing ingredient for them this year. This is why they finished second last year. He was not on the ball club.
There's a strike from Clemens, and the bottom of the first is underway. We're scoreless in Oakland.
He added some speed to the top of the lineup, some defense in center field, and you see he's driven in 80 runs from the leadoff spot.
Ground ball to short. Peter throws him out, one away. And Randy Velarde, who used to be a Yankee, is the hitter. Velarde at 278.
Now batting number 8.
His Oakland team doesn't have much speed at all. They don't steal many bases. They sit back and wait for the bomb, as do many American League teams.
this team even more so because they have trouble scoring on singles to the outfield from second base with a few of their base runners. So speed is not something that they consider an asset.
There's a strike from Clemens, 0-1.
That was important there because that pitch was at the top of the strike zone, and I believe that if you give the power pitchers like Roger Clemens the top of the strike zone that they deserve, then it really helps them. Roger's very similar to Gil Heredia. Fastball, he'll throw a sinking fastball. He has a splitter and a slider. He will throw an occasional curveball, but mostly he's fastball, splitter.
Giambi waits to hit next. Fly ball foul to right. I'll tell you what, with this bright sun blazing, I bet you got three umpires, or rather three outfielders out there that never admit it, but they're saying, please, Lord, don't let them hit it to me.
I don't think there's any doubt they do not want it hit to them at this point. It's also a little difficult for the hitters because the background is in bright sunlight and the rest of the diamond is in the shade, so it's very difficult to pick the ball up against the background.
Just missed the inside corner. Also, there's about 7 acres of foul territory here in Oakland. A lot of room to roam. Clemens waits patiently as Velarde steps out for a moment. Velarde's still not comfy. After all that, he swings and misses.
And that's the good splitter that Roger Clemens uses to get a lot of his strikeouts now. He used to overpower you upstairs. But this is a good splitter right down, and just you see the movement. The bottom falls out of it. And we saw Heredia. They both have excellent splitters.
Jason Giambi, 333, 43 homers, 137 RBI. He's 11 out of 37 in his career against Clemens. Those drummers are a tradition out here, but I tell you what, I wouldn't want to sit anywhere near them. You'd have some headache by the time this game's over.
The A's, they're the official mascot of the Oakland A's. They've given them free tickets to all the playoffs.
That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, as long as they hang around, they feel like they were part of their success down the stretch. They help the fans get excited, and they help the team down the stretch.
2 out, nobody aboard. All the other playoff baseball of the day is over. In 10, Seattle beat the White Sox 7-4, and in a very weird game, St. Louis over Atlanta 7-5 earlier today.
And you can always expect Roger Clemens to keep the hitters loose.
Outside. 3-1 the count. Hitters pitch here. That's how that game ended. Twisting foul down the left side. That's a pretty good poke anyway.
Kind of tells you, though, how difficult it is to see there, because that was a 3-1 fastball, and I'm sure Giambi was looking dead red, and he got the fastball, and he was still late on it.
So a payoff pitch is due here. That's putting together a great year.
If it's difficult to see the fastball, that means it's twice as difficult to see the splitter.
Just missed low, and a runner is aboard with 2 outs.
I'm a little surprised that Jason took this pitch. He's a good low ball hitter, and it's not very much out of the strike zone as it passes the plate.
Now batting number 14, Ben Green.
And if you're Art Howe, you want him to swing the bat as much as he can in this series.
Ben Grieve is the batter, a .279 hitter on the year, but with 27 homers, 104 RBI. He's had good fortune against Clemens, 7 out of 21, a home run included.
You mentioned the fact the A's only had 40 stolen bases this season, so you do never expect them to run. But Roger has a high leg kick, which would allow you to run if you were a team that could put some pressure on him. But the A's just do not play that type of baseball. Watch the high leg kick.
Just missed. Posada held it there, but didn't get the call.
And Roger asked home plate umpire Tim Wilkie, where was that? And you see Joe Torre say, let's go. And you can watch the catcher's glove, see if he actually moves it. Well, you can see him raise it up a little bit. He twists his wrist, so that means that he probably thought it was down a little bit.
3 balls and a strike, no doubt about that one. Clemens walked 84 this year, struck out 188. Late on it, lined it foul. Like his team, Roger struggled late in the year.
Well, he got hit in the thigh with a line drive, and it caused a bruise, and it Charlie hard sort of, and he was pitching in pain for a couple of those starts.
There goes the runner, payoff pitch. He walked him. So 2-out trouble for Clemens. He got the first 2 with ease, but then he walked a pair.
And this is kind of the MO of the Oakland A's. They get a lot of walks, and they hit home runs. They do not have a high batting average. They do not get a lot of base hits, but they do get base runners by taking a lot of pitches, and then someone hits the ball out of the ballpark. That's the way they play the game.
Miguel Tejeda, the batter. He's out of the Dominican Republic and has already signed a 4-year contract through 2003. That's how much they think of him.
And here's one of those shortstops hitting 30 home runs and driving in 115 runs.
Excuse me, are you surprised he swung at the first pitch after those 2 walks?
I'm surprised he swung. It's a high fastball. But again, I think the background takes a little adjustment once you get in the batter's box. When you see a couple of pitches, I think you can adjust. But your first pitch, he thought that was a good pitch to hit, but he was late on it. But I agree with you.
Popped up. Foul territory and playable. And the inning is over. No hits, no runs, no errors. 2 left. The end of an inning, no score.
Tonight's Division Series is brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. And by NBCI.com, one site with everything you need.
David Justice leads off the 2nd inning for New York. Boy, what a godsend he was to New York when they got him. They were talking about Sammy Sosa, and they wound up with Justice, who's come up very big for him. And that's no surprise. He's a money player.
I think he was their most valuable player once he got there. He came over June 30th, and from that point, he led them in home runs and RBIs. He had 20 home runs and 60 RBIs in that stretch.
Over the outside corner, 1-1.
And there you see what he did with the Indians, 265 and 21 homers, and 305 and 20 homers and 60 RBIs with the Yankees. And he's one of those guys that just almost, you could say, he's a pure hitter. He has a great swing, doesn't try to pull the ball all the time. He goes with the pitch, and he's just a very tough out.
And a good hitter against left-handers.
And he likes this stage. I mean, you saw him in Atlanta. He loves being on the big stage.
Not only saw him in Atlanta, he hit the home run that gave the Braves their only world title of the 90s back in '95, and it was off a left-hander. 2-2 the count.
There he is. Look at this. He is passing Reggie Jackson by playing in his 78th postseason game. Reggie Jackson was 77. Yogi Berra, all of his, of course, were World Series games because they didn't have the playoffs when Yogi was around, and Pete Rose, of course.
That's some pretty good company to be in.
Yes.
Into center field, Long battles that Sun. He's got it, one down. That time the Sun didn't seem to bother anybody, one away. Tino Martinez will be the batter.
Well, you see Terrence Long, he's talking to Matt Stairs, who came over from right field. I guess he's probably telling him, make sure you get over here if the ball goes in the air.
Give me some help. Martinez just 4 out of 20 against Gil Heredia in his career. An off year for him, 258, but he drove in 19 runs. How can that, 91 runs. How can that be an off year? Ground ball to first. That'll be easy. 3 unassisted, 2 out.
It's going to take these hitters a while, in my opinion, to adjust to these pitchers because of the background. And it's going to take them a couple of bats before they get used to this background. I really think this background helps Roger Clemens more than Heredia because Clemens throws harder. And the ball gets on you quicker because that background is pretty much in the sunshine. It's hard to pick up the baseball, and especially hard up to pick the spin of the ball.
Jorge Posada, the batter, he is headed toward that situation where he'll be one of the Yankee greats. The more he plays and the better he gets. 0-1.
You have to give the Yankees a lot of credit. They decided to go with Posada on an everyday basis. Joe Girardi has been there helping them win championships. They decided to let him go, and this season he has responded. And he was well over 300 most of the season, but like most catchers, it takes its toll as the season goes along.
1-1 the count. We are scoreless in the second inning. Joe Morgan, Skip Carrier with you from Oakland. Started to swing, went around. Paul Schreiber made the call from third base.
Well, just watch the barrel of the bat and just see if it goes forward. Yes, you can see right there, went in front and then he pulled it back. And it's easy to see that from third base.
2 out here. Off his thumbs, fouled it off, but stayed alive.
When you see big league hitters as good as these players are making funny swings or swinging late like that, you know that it's very difficult for them to pick the ball up.
You know, it's funny, the Yankees fans watching this game hoping that they'll wind up playing the Mets in the World Series, and the Giants fans are watching it hoping it's the A's and Giants. Stay. 2-2. Heredia got a big double play ball from Paul O'Neill in the first with runners at first and second, no one out. That really helped him get going in this game, I think. And Clemens walked 2 in the first and then got out of it. Line off the glove of Giambi and into right field. Second hit for New York. And Luis Sojo, the batter.
Ball is hit like a shot. And you see Giambi actually got there. He got his glove up, but he hit off the side of his glove and he wasn't able to hold it. He actually looked into his glove thinking that he had caught it.
Sojo has 3 hits in 7 tries against Heredia in his regular season career. One ball, no strikes. High with a breaking ball. Do you enjoy the pressure that these kind of games bring? I guess so, or you wouldn't be trying to play, huh?
Yes, I enjoy it when I played, and I think the players enjoy the pressure because it means more. It's more meaningful.
That ball's pretty well hit into left center field. Nobody's going to get it all the way to the wall. Runner around third. They're going to wave him, and he'll score standing. And New York has a lead. 2-out trouble for Heredia. And Sojo comes through with a clutch double.
And he drilled the ball in the gap, but you could see what I was talking about. Not a lot of speed except for center field. This ball is right in the middle of the plate. Didn't do much. And Grieve is chasing it. And by the time they get it back in, Jorge Posada has rounded the bases to give the Yankees a 1-0 lead.
He runs very well for a catcher, by the way. And here's Scott Brocious. A .230 hitter, but don't let that fool you. Clutch, he is pretty good. 0-1.
The one thing that Brocious has been able to do, especially in the playoffs and World Series, is anytime pitchers make mistakes, he has been able to hammer them.
Hit hard and fair down the left field line. That'll get a run home. It's 2-0, and that's a double. 3 hits in a row after 2 are up.
And that's a mistake. He likes the ball in, and Heredia threw him a fastball in, and he pulls it down the line. He's a good fastball hitter. You have to throw him a lot of breaking balls and stay away. And look, this is a fastball in. I don't know exactly why they even went in there. He's an inside hitter, and he just rips it down the line. Catcher sets up inside. He throws it inside, and Brocious rips it fair down the left field line.
The Yankees' bottom of the order has gotten it done here. 7, 8, 9 men, a single, and a couple of doubles. And Chuck Knobloch, the batter, he singled his first time. 1 ball, no strikes. A ball and a strike.
The one thing about this Oakland team, they never stop playing. I mean, if you can get ahead, they always seem to find a way to come back. And one of the reasons is because they have a lot of power. They can hit the ball out of the ballpark.
Brocious leads at second with 2 down. Little low. Derek Jeter would be next. So it would behoove the A's to get Knobloch.
It's interesting, the scouting report says to stay away from Knobloch, and they're pitching him away, and they went inside on Brocious, and I think Brocious is a better inside hitter than Knobloch is.
Crowd gets back with it a little bit. They had been silenced by the 3 straight hits. Down and in.
Well, you can see Tim Wilkie, he kind of started. He flinched a little bit. Now watch the umpire.
Shake your head, your eyes got stuck.
And he starts to call it a strike, and then he changes his mind.
Foul tipped. He's still alive.
It's a good pitch there by Heredia, a splitter on 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Knobloch just barely gets the top of it. See all the sink on it right there at the home plate. The thing that a splitter does is sinks late. You can't see it until it gets halfway to the plate, and all of a sudden the bottom drops out.
Another 3-2 pitch. Runner at second, 2 out. And we'll have it to do all over again. Wonder if the general manager of the A's, Billy Bean, has left the park yet. He got so nervous Sunday, he went to one of the beaches around here trying to get away from baseball during the game. He was so nervous, and everybody had their radio turned to A's baseball, so they had to come back to the park. Got it. But not before 2-run score on 3 hits and 1 is left, and it all came with 2 out. Go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 New York. Matt Stairs leads things off here in the bottom of the second, 2-0 New York. Stairs, a .277 hitter on the year. Former Montreal performer, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes.
And he was having a horrible first half of the season, Skip, but he really hit well down the stretch. He had some key hits for them and drove in some runs, big runs against Seattle.
He looks at a strike there. He has not had much luck against Roger Clemens, but he shouldn't feel badly about that. A lot of guys can make that statement. He's just 3 out of 24 against him.
One thing with Matt, he's pretty much a free swinger, and he's not trying to hit a lot of singles. So when a guy like Clemens gets ahead of him, he can get him to chase pitches out of the strike zone.
Time is called by the home plate umpire, Bill Welke. I think Stairs asked for it. No, beach ball situation. And a nice play by Bernie Williams. He comes up with the beach ball beautifully. I don't know what that other thing is up there, but he ignored it. Two balls and a strike. That'll get your attention.
Well, Roger keeps your attention, and then that's good. I think a pitcher has to get the hitter's attention every once in a while, and Roger's very good at that. But again, he's a free swinger, and he swings at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone.
Payoff pitch. Popped him up, foul territory. Look at the room. Brocious for the catch. Coming up on NBC.
Wednesday, it's the most anticipated premiere of the season. The 2-hour season premiere of The West Wing, NBC Wednesday.
Number 3.
That's right here on NBC.
Third base.
Eric Tevis, the batter. A .277 hitter in the regular season. Drove in 86 runs.
They got a lot of production out of their third baseman this year. Chavez hit 26 homers, 86 RBIs. Olmedo Saenz, who will start tomorrow against the left-hander, hit over 300, drove in 32 runs. So they got over 100 RBIs from that position. See that he has doubled his home run production and his batting average has gone up.
This is my first trip to this ballpark, and I can't get over foul territory.
Yeah, well, and especially in a place like California where the real estate is so high.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of wasted space here, but this is one of those stadiums that was built for football and turned into a baseball stadium.
Two and one the count.
They're not, Joe and Roger, they're not very happy with Tim Wilkie behind the plate. That's what you see from Roger, and you see that from Joe, and there's Roger peering in again. He thinks that pitch was a good pitch, and he doesn't want to make any comments or do anything because a few years ago, Roger was kicked out of the ball game for arguing strikes here in a playoff game.
There's the strike, no doubt about that. And a full count, the result. A lot of pitches being thrown by both pitchers early on in this game. There's a look at Roger Clemens' pitch count so far tonight. Still 3-2.
There was a game early in the year where Roger Clemens hooked up with Pedro Martinez, and it ended up 1-0 in favor of the Red Sox. But this looks like the Roger Clemens that I saw that night. He is throwing the ball well, throwing enough strikes to keep the hitters off balance, and he has excellent stuff going for him tonight. There.
He looks like he feels good about himself, too. He's ready to catch the ball and throw it again right away, and that normally means a pitcher feels like he's in the groove.
Well, this is a splitter, and this splitter is just devastating. You see his split fingers because it's hard. You see the last second dip. Now watch, it's in the strike zone, and all of a sudden it just moves away, and it's off the plate outside by the time Chavez swings at it.
So two are down, and Jeremy Giambi the batter. A .254 hitter on the year. That's foul, past first, 0-1.
If you have a guy with 5 Cy Young awards, I mean, that's unbelievable. I guess, you know, Greg Maddux, of course, in Atlanta has 4, but that's amazing to have 5, and he's pitched with 3 different ball clubs, and he's still on top of his game. He signed a new contract, and one of the statements he made, it was just great as far as I was concerned. He says, "I came in as a power pitcher, and I will leave as a power pitcher." I like that. There are the active wins by pitchers. Roger Clemens on top of Greg Maddux. And that's a power pitcher right there.
2-0 Yankees are scored. Derek Jeter is about to lead it off, and he's the subject of our Valvoline player profile.
Great numbers, a .322 career average, a 3 straight 200-hit seasons is special. Don Mattingly had 3 straight for the Yankees. So did Jim Rice. Wade Boggs had 7 straight, and Kirby Puckett, among the American Leaguers, had 4 straight. So Derek Jeter in elite company there.
He was hit by a pitch his first time, and here's another one in on him, but he fouled that one off. 0-2.
When I talked to Joe Torre about, you know, the team, he said he felt like they were tight. They lost 15 of 18, and he said he couldn't do anything to relax them. He said he tried everything. He said, you know, he talked to them, and they just could not relax. He said finally they were like one game, they needed one victory to clinch for like 3 days. The champagne was on ice.
That should be easy. Close, but he got him one out.
So the champagne was on ice for 3 days, so he came in one day and he said to them, maybe we should drink the champagne before the game tonight and everybody can relax. But he said he blamed himself a little bit for not being able to relax them, but he said he really didn't know what to do. He had never been in that situation with this ball club before, and he never felt that they were tightened up, but he said he could not relax this ball club, which is amazing.
And they weren't losing 4-3 and 2-1 and 8-7. They were getting just absolutely hammered. 13-2 and 21-3. Paul O'Neill, the batter, he's come a long way. I can remember Paul O'Neill when he first came to the major leagues was the guy that Cincinnati used to pitch when they were either winning 10-1 or losing 10-1. Now here he is, a perennial all-star.
When he came to the American League, he just began to hit 300, and this is the first year he hasn't hit 300 for the Yankees.
He's a fine ball player.
Look at that, he's raised his career average 30-plus points. That's a lot. It may not seem like a lot, but that's a lot to do in that shorter span. Won an American League batting championship and has helped them win 3 world championships.
He's not too sure about that call, but he'll get over it. By the way, we all want to wish Mel Stottlemyre well. Mel Stottlemyre Sr. looking in back in New York.
Great guy and a big part of the Yankees' 3 out of 4 world championships.
Everybody's thinking about you, Mel. You get well. Popped up into short center. The shortstop, Heredia, is there.
Oh.
He snow-coned it, but he made the catch.
You were talking about Mel Stottlemyre, Skip. A lot of people were wondering how they chose Roger Clemens to start instead of El Duque. El Duque started the first games last year. Well, Mel Stottlemyre, Joe Torre, they all talked about it on the phone on a conference call, and they all decided that Roger Clemens was the right guy. So Mel is still a part of the decision-making for the Yankees at this point, so that's good. He knows these pitchers better than anyone.
Bernie Williams, the batter, a strikeout victim on his initial trip to the plate.
It seems to me that Heredia has relaxed a little bit, Skip, in that his splitter now is a little slower and getting a little more movement. A lot of times when you start a ball game, you're a little nervous, your adrenaline's flowing, you overthrow it.
There's a little looping pop fly. It just does avoid Tejeda's glove. And a 2-out hit for Bernie Williams.
Another good pitch. He didn't hit it hard, but he got it in the right spot. He gets jammed on this. He fights it off, and Tejeda goes back, tries to time his jump, but he hits off the thumb of the glove. The ball was curving back away from him. Anytime a left-hander hits the ball off the handle inside out like that, it will curve toward the left field line.
So a blue pit with 2 out. They scored 2 runs with 2 out an inning ago. And David Justice is the hitter. Into right field. Stairs is there, and the inning is over. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd. The Yankees on top, 2-zip. 2-0 New York, our score. For more baseball postseason information, log on to MSNBCSports.com. You'll find full coverage of both the American and National League division games with playoff profiles, stats, and daily schedules. MSNBCSports.com, the official website of NBC Sports. Ramon Hernandez leads off the 3rd inning for Oakland.
A lot of people were wondering if this playoff atmosphere would disturb or make the A's tight. I don't think it it should have a lot of effect on them because they've been under the playoff pressure for the last week. It's like every game was a must-win game for them, which is what the playoffs are all about. And they were able to win most of those games. I think they're relaxed, and I think they will play well today.
That's foul back.
But the real problem they have is that they're basically a team that tries to get walks and hit home runs. It's tougher to hit a lot of home runs off of good pitchers. Good pitchers can keep you in the ballpark. And when you keep them in the ballpark, they will struggle a little bit. But the one thing that they have been able to do under Art Howe is find ways to win.
Clemens looks sharp as a tack in this game.
Yeah, this is as good as I've seen him throw except for the game he pitched against Pedro that night. He was in complete control. He had great movement on his fastball, great splitter, and his focus is very good out there tonight.
That game was on ESPN, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, that was a terrific game.
Great
we were
game.
watching it in a clubhouse or someplace, somewhere.
It was a great game.
Pretty good turnaround for Clemens. The Yankees lead, but this Oakland team can score in a hurry.
And that's the one thing they can do. If they fall behind 3-4 runs, they're not out of it. And when you fall behind 3 or 4 runs, you have to have power to be able to get back in the ball game, and they have that. There you see second in the American League, and this is not a home run hitter's ballpark. This is, especially in the evening, the ball doesn't carry as well here as most other ballparks.
Fly ball into short left center field. Williams has it, one down.
And the good thing now is that the shadows are covering the background in center field. Still a little difficult because the lights haven't taken hold, but it's much easier for the outfielders now to track the fly balls down.
Terrence Long grounded to short on his first trip.
Now batting center fielder, Terrence Long.
And the dumb National League guy should apologize to Miguel Tejada for calling him Fajita.
Oh.
Sorry, Miguel.
He's been called worse.
I'm sure. I'm sure I was called worse all over Oakland when I said that.
The A's also have 2 candidates for big-time awards, Jason Giambi for the Most Valuable Player Award and Terrence Long for the Rookie of the Year. I mean, they have 2 legitimate candidates for those 2 major awards. And of course, Art Howe is going to be in the running for the Manager of the Year.
High chopper. Nobody's covered. Now Clemens gets over there, but can't come up with a throw. That'll probably be a hit.
Well, it was a tough play for both Clemens and Martinez. Martinez has to come get this ball because Long runs well, so if he doesn't come and get it, he's not going to have a chance. Clemens does a great job, but you can see how that's a difficult play because Clemens has to find the baseball and the bag. And he'll find the ball, and then he'll try to find the bag, and he can't hold on to it.
That had potential injury written all over it, too, when those 2 got together at first base. But everybody's okay, and a runner is aboard with 1 out. Randy Velarde, the batter.
First hit of the ball game for the A's.
Clemens knows he's got the one guy who can really run on base. Ron Washington with the signs.
Terrence Long has stolen 5 bases. He has not been caught this year. But again, the A's are not a team that likes to steal a lot of bases. They don't even attempt many.
It's sort of interesting. Oakland seems to feel that the day of the good defense is, playing for one run is sort of over. They go with Walker could get a hit here and a walk there and then hit a 3-run homer.
It's interesting because it seems to work for them.
Little pop, that'll drop.
And it's not the way you normally build a ball club because they're not a great defensive ball club. They do not hit for a high average. They strike out a lot, but they basically try to get Jason Giambi up with men on base. And Ben Grieve also drove in 100 runs, and so did Tejada. So they do have some offense. They just have to figure a way to get it started. But again, good pitchers will normally keep you in the ballpark.
Fly ball. Williams is there in right center and puts it away. 2 down. And here's Giambi. Just the man Joe was talking about.
And he was unbelievable down the stretch. Every time they needed a hit, he seemed to be the guy in the batter's box, and he delivered most of the time because he hit 400, 13 home runs, and it was just amazing what he did down the stretch.
He walked his first time. There's the score for you. High fly ball, left field, pretty well hit, but not well enough. And the inning is over. We'll return to Oakland after this message and a word from your local station. Before we get to the 4th, let's switch down to the field where Bob Wischusen checks in. Bob.
Well, guys, report from the Yankee dugout. It seemed after Paul O'Neill hit into that double play in the first inning that the whole mood of in the Bombers dugout was that of, here we go again. You know the way that they played and struggled down the stretch in September. But when the bottom of the lineup got them those couple of runs, and now watching Roger Clemens move through the first 3 innings without allowing a run across the plate, a noticeably lighter mood in the Yankee dugout overall. Back upstairs to you.
And their mood should be lighter still as Martinez reaches to start the 4th. Thanks, Bob.
But I think the important thing for the Yankees, as Bob was talking about, is for them to feel confident about themselves. And here's Martinez, who hasn't had a good year, but starts off the top of the 4th inning with a ground ball up the middle. Velarde cannot make the play, and it goes as a base hit. But again, I don't think they had to win this ball game, or they have to win. This is not a must-win, but I think they must play well enough so that they can convince themselves that they're back on track.
Posada singled and scored his first time. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes.
And I think you can see that the hitters are starting to pick up the ball a little bit better from the pitcher, and they're having better swings than they were having earlier. We saw a lot of funny swings the first couple of innings.
You know, you said before, Joe, and I'm not arguing with you at all, that these guys aren't nervous coming into this game because they've played big games all down the stretch. But I think you're less than human if you don't feel a little. I mean, you know it's the playoffs, and you know it's important to win the first game, whether you're a Yankee or an A.
Well, there has to be a certain amount of pressure but they feel like, in talking to most of the players, they felt like there was more pressure last week to get here than it is the first game of a playoff, because they have at least, they have a chance to win 3 out of 4, even if they lose this ball game.
Yeah, those games were more important because if you don't win some of those,
you don't get to play here.
You're sitting and watching this game on the tube.
It's basically like the LCS sometimes. It's so crucial just to get you to the World Series.
You know what Posada wants to know? He wants to know if that pitch was a strike.
Well, it was, yes, because you swung at it.
No.
I know that makes it a strike.
But he wanted to know from Welke.
Yeah, no.
You're setting me up, aren't you?
Just having a little fun.
That ball is well hit. Fair or foul? Foul.
And because it's the playoff, you have an extra umpire in the outfield who can get down the line and get a closer look than you could if you were at the first base. And that's Jeff Nelson down the right field line. And he goes out and he gets a very good look at this ball. And Posada hits it, and it's clearly foul.
But you know what? I have seen, and you have too, so many times with those umpires on the foul lines. They're not used to working there. They don't work there all year. You had the play where Tony Tarasco was about to catch a fly ball, and they didn't see that.
Right.
We had a play in Atlanta several years ago when Jermaine Dye was playing for us in Atlanta, where an umpire inadvertently got in his way as he was trying to catch a foul ball. I honestly think that it's really not fair to the umpires to put them there because they don't know what the heck they're doing in that particular area.
And that's a very good point because they do not work there except in the postseason.
Runner goes. Foul territory. Does he have room? Indeed he does. 1 out. When I say that, I'm not knocking the umpires. It's
a fact.
Yeah.
Al Clark went down to make sure that Ben Grieve made the catch on that one.
The batter, second baseman, Luis Soho.
Luis Soho, the batter. He drove in the first run with a 2-out double in the second.
I think if you look at this lineup that Joe Torre starting today, with Chuck Knobloch as the DH, all of these players, with the exception of David Justice, was a part of the championships that they have won there. And I think Joe feels comfortable with this unit, and that's why he said he wanted a team out there that could put the ball in play. And you take away Glenn Allen Hill, you take away Jose Canseco, but they were not part of the championship teams that they've had there, in the last 3 championship teams. The players who are starting today, in most places, were part of that team. David Justice, of course, being the exception, but David Justice, as I said before, I think was their most valuable player after he arrived there. And you feel comfortable with that group, and that's why Joe Torre basically started this lineup tonight.
Heredia has pitched all right to this point. They ran into 2-out trouble in the second. But he's done a good job for Oakland against the Bombers.
And that's something the Yankees had not been able to do. That score first, and also they had not been able to get a lot of 2-out base hits. So they did something that they had not been doing while they were struggling.
Speaking of surprises, how about our pal Tony La Russa today, starting Rich Ankiel?
That was a surprise.
Popped up. Should be easy. Is easy.
And you see Heredia is making some good pitches. That's an excellent splitter down and away. Nothing that Soho could do with it, but he reached out and popped it up. Watch the location of this pitch. See the catcher's target? Look at that, down and away. You can't do much with that pitch. If you have to swing at it, you're not going to hit it. And you can see very much off balance. Let's see if they pitch Brocious different this time. I mean, I just can't believe that you'd want to throw him fastballs anyway, but throw him inside especially. He's a good middle-of-the-plate end hitter. Well, at least they go away with a breaking ball this time, which is what they should have been doing all the time.
And Keel started that game for the Cardinals, and they won the game 7-5. It was a weird game. Atlanta had a horrible first inning, and Keel had 5 wild pitches in an inning. And I haven't had a drop to drink. I'm not making that up. He really did.
That's a record. No one's ever had 5 wild pitches in an inning.
But St. Louis won the game.
And you can see Brocious swing at those 2 splitters and breaking balls. You'd wonder what the scouting report, which one they read that said throw him a fastball inside as they did last time. Here's another splitter, and he's 0-2.
That was maybe the best pitch he's thrown today. That was nasty.
Well, there's that same scouting report. They come back inside again with a fastball, and he hits it hard. I don't understand it personally, but then again, I'm not a pitcher.
Might have to put that scouting report where the sun doesn't shine.
Yeah, I mean, how can you? I mean, you hit a fastball that you pitched through inside for a double, Now he swings and misses 2 splitters, and you throw him another fastball inside, and he hits that one hard.
Another 0-2 pitch. Chuck Knobloch is on deck for New York.
Well, at least they're going to try to go away again.
Swinging bunt down the third base line. It goes foul, and Heredia makes sure it stays foul. Count still 1-2.
I'm the A's. I like the way he's swinging at those pitches. Better not do the fastball in.
Henry get ready for the 1-2 pitch again.
There are a lot of hitters who like the ball middle of the plate in with the fastball, and Scott Brocious is one of those. So you try to go away with something off speed, something slow, or if you have to throw the fastball, you throw it away from it. And now they're going to go away again.
And it worked out pretty well for him.
Only they did it one at bat too late.
1 hit, no runs, no errors, 1 left. Bottom of the 4th. 2-0 New York.
Is brought to you by Century by Buick, a luxury car for everyone. By Gateway, in Gateway Country, people rule. And by Domino's Pizza, Bad Andy, good pizza.
Cleanup hitter Ben Grieve leads off the bottom half of the 4th inning for the Oakland A's. You see the score, not much of it. But with Roger Clemens pitching, that's really not too surprising. Fast strike, 0-1.
And he is throwing well. We've said that, but I mean, he continues to get ahead of the hitters. I think that's the key to his success so far, because then he has several different ways he can go. He can either come to keep him off balance with the fastball, or he can use the splitter to finish them off. And he's done a good job here, 0-2 to Ben Grieve. So he's throwing the ball very well. The question is, how long can he go? The Yankees' middle relief has not been one of their strong points this year.
A little bit outside.
They need someone to be able to get them the 7th and 8th to get to Mariano Rivera. Mendoza is out for the year. He was the guy that was always there to get them to Rivera, and he is out for the season.
Oh, that appeared to be a break for New York.
That may be the first time we get a big argument on a strike 3 call. That pitch seemed to move away, and Grieve thought it was outside. And watch the target. Let's see. Here's the target. It's in the strike zone. See if he moves it out. And you can see he clearly moves the glove. I've always felt that it's very difficult for me to call balls and strikes up here, but the catcher calls them for me. If he doesn't move the glove, then that tells you the pitch was in the strike zone. If he does, well, that means it was out.
Miguel Tejada, the batter. One ball, no strikes. That foul out was to first by Tejada. And he hits the ball that way again.
Not only is Roger throwing hard, but there must be a lot of late movement on his fastball, because even now that the bright sunlight on the background is gone, they're still late in hitters' counts. And when a hitter is late in a hitter's count, that tells you that the guy has a lot of movement, or his fastball is really getting there a lot quicker than it appears.
One out of play. It's 1-2. Yeah, that movement even fooled the umpire. That can happen.
It's one thing to throw hard, but you have to have that movement to go along with it. And Roger has both tonight. got good movement and good velocity on his fastball.
Over the inside corner. Now Tejada not too happy with Welke. Sunday night.
They call him the bowling alley lawyer.
I'm actually going to try and stay away from that phrase.
The critics rave it's TV's hottest new show. Ed premieres NBC Sunday.
Right here on NBC.
A bowling alley lawyer.
I don't know about that. You have to check that show out.
Yeah.
5 strikeouts, by the way, for Clemens.
I mean, he's going to represent the pins or the ball. And you see, Rogers always going to come inside off the plate against left-handed hitters. And I think that's smart. He's not throwing at anyone. He's just trying to keep them from leaning out to get that splitter that he throws toward the outside part of the plate. And there it is. If you keep the hitters honest inside, unconsciously they're looking for the ball inside, even if you do not go back in there. And for a split second, they're just a little late on that pitch away. There are a lot of ways of getting to a hitter, keeping a hitter off balance. You can do it with your overpowering fastball. You do it by changing speeds, or you change location.
Little tapper. That might be a tough play. Soho gets it. Nothing doing in the 4th for Oakland. 1-2-3 again. At the end, continues tomorrow with Game 2 of the Seattle-Chicago series, airing at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN, followed by Game 1 of the Mets-Giants. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and Joe and John Miller will have that for you. Pitches a strike. Then we turn over the mics to Joe Buck and Tim McCarver for Game 2 of this series at 8 o'clock tomorrow night on Fox. Knobloch pops it up. 1 out here in the 5th. This is a pitcher's duel, and not many people thought it would be.
Well, I think a lot of it is because of the time of day we started. That really helped the pitchers in the beginning. Because what happens is when you do not pick the ball up well, it's hard for a hitter to really stay focused and to stay in there and not pick up some bad habits.
Derek Jeter, the batter. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's grounded to short. Strike call.
When Knobloch was out with an injury, Derek Jeter was the leadoff hitter, and he did a fabulous job.
Ground ball, good play at third base. Travis throws him out, 2 down.
Jeter did a fabulous job in that most of the time people feel that he's a free swinger and he doesn't take a lot of pitches. But when they had him leading off, he took pitches and he got on base, and he just did a fantastic job of, being the leadoff hitter while Knobloch was out.
Paul O'Neill is 0 for 2.
Paul O'Neill's also the 4th Yankee to ever have 4 consecutive 100 RBI seasons in a row. 4 in a row.
Nice running catch by Stairs, and the inning quickly comes to a close. We're at the halfway point of the ball game now. We've played 4.5. Eric Chavez leads off the 5th inning. For Oakland, they're down 2-0. That happened in the 2nd after 2 were out. And there's a solid hit. Only the 2nd hit of the day for the A's.
Well, if you're the A's, you have to start to think, Roger Clemens has been trying to get ahead of us, and he's been successful getting ahead of us with fastballs. So I'm going to sit up here and look for a fastball. He gets the fastball, and he rips it to right field. Because Roger has been staying ahead of the hitters by throwing a first pitch fastball strike. So if your hitter's the second time around, you've watched this for 4 innings, you have to start to think, I'm going to be ready for the first pitch. You have to make Roger change his pattern that has been successful for him.
You see the story on Jeremy Giambi. Downstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Outfield plays him straight away and very deep.
The A's always a bloop and a blast away from tying this ball game, and that's basically their philosophy. Not quite the Earl Weaver theory on baseball, pitching, defense, and a 3-run homer, but close.
Almost hit it. 2-1 the count.
See, a lot of teams, when they're down 2-0, they get a count like this, 2 balls, 1 strike. They've been shut out. You try to put a runner in motion. You do something to change what Roger's been doing. And he's basically been around the plate, so this is a perfect 2-1 situation to hit and run, but that's not the way the A's play baseball. And you can't argue with it because they've been successful doing what they've been doing, playing the game their way.
Way outside.
And you could see Posada tap his shoulder. What that meant was keep your shoulder in. He felt like Roger opened up too quickly, and that's why the ball moved so far outside. So he wants to keep the front shoulder in and drive toward the plate.
Full count.
Now that tells you right there that he has a great fastball. 3 balls, 1 strike, fastball count, and he threw it right down the middle, and he couldn't catch up with it. 95 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the movement Rogers had today. This is Randy Velarde in the first inning. That's Eric Chavez in the second. Jason Giambi, Ben Grieve, and Miguel Tejada. A lot of movement on his pitches tonight.
3-2 to Giambi. We'll do it again.
And even there, they're not sending the runner. There's Ron Washington, the third base coach. He gives the signal to the runner and the hitter that Art Howe passes along to him.
He walked him. So the tying runs are aboard with no one out.
And this is a situation where a lot of ball clubs would bunt, try to get the tying runs into scoring position. And I think you may see a bunt here because you're also in a situation where you want to show Roger Clemens that you can score against him. You can't let him just continue to get you out inning by inning without scoring a run here or there. They need to make a dent in Roger to let him know that they can score. Even if it's 1 run, you just need to get on the board. And then I think they will loosen up a little bit more.
This is by far Oakland's best chance. They got 2 runners on in the first, a couple of walks after 2 were out, and here they've got them on with nobody out. Base hit right field. Runner around third, they're going to wave him. O'Neill's throw. He's safe. A good throw might have had it.
And that's what we're talking about. They get on the board. But again, I think they fooled Roger there. Roger and Scott Brocious thought they were bunting. But this is not what the Oakland A's are about. They do not bunt. First pitch fastball, and that's what we're talking about. He's been throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs. Ramon Hernandez steps up, rips it to right field, and the throw is up the line. If the throw is near the plate, you see here the ball definitely beats him, but because it's so far up the line, Chavez is able to go around Posada and slide home safely.
Terrence Long is 1 for 2. This has gotten the fans back in the ball game. He took a shot at left field, fouled it away.
Well, Roger continues to come after him with a first pitch fastball, and that tells you that he feels like his fastball is still moving well, and he has a lot of confidence in it.
Still no one out here. Runners at first and second, and a run in. Joe Torre, Don Zimmer talk it over in the Yankee dugout. Clemens out in front, 0-2.
One of the things that Terrence Long has been able to do is hit with runners in scoring position. .373 there you see with runners in scoring position. He's done well since he's been here. He didn't start the season with the A's, but the excitement has brought the fans back.
A little looping pop fly, that's going to drop foul.
It was actually pretty good hitting there by Terrence Long because he didn't try to pull the ball. It was a splitter away, and that's what one of the pitches Roger has been using to get his strikeouts, and he was able to go the other way and keep it in play just to try to put the ball in play.
He's looked like he's trying to go to left field on every pitch here. See if Clemens tries to bust him inside. Nope. Again, toward the outside part of the plate.
I think Roger's trying to get the strikeout. He's trying to throw his best splitter, and so far, a couple of them have stayed up. Now watch, he wants this ball to really drop down. He starts it too high. That's the reason he was able to get a piece of it. See how high this one starts. It still has movement, but because it starts so high, he's able to get a piece of it.
Long out of the box. Now he stands in. Jeremy Giambi leads from second. Hernandez from first. Little tapper. Out there. Safe there. Good job of base run by Ramon Hernandez.
Well, it was an excellent job of base running, but I think Soho should have taken the runner at second base. You have to keep the double play in order. You have to take the guy at second base. If he stops like that, you have to go ahead and take him. He's not close enough to first base that you can throw to first and go back to second on that play. The only time you can do that is if the runner's close to first base. He's too close to second. You have to just take one and keep the double play in order. Now there's no double play situation.
So it was Hernandez who did a smart job. Velarde, the batter, infield back. They're willing to concede the tying run for an out.
Roger's still questioning some of the calls of Tim Welke. Randy Velarde had a big hit in the division-clinching game on Sunday. He hit a home run. They were ahead 1-0 in the 8th, and he hit a home run over the center field wall. And on Friday, he made some great defensive plays here to help them win a ball game.
Two balls and a strike.
I don't think you want to put Velarde on base and have Jason Giambi batting with the bases loaded.
No, that would not probably be a good plan.
No, not a good thought if you're a Yankee fan. If you're an A's fan, that's exactly what you're hoping for.
Ground ball, base hit. One run is in. The other runner stops at third, tie game. Velarde comes through.
And this is the way the A's have played down the stretch. They've fallen behind, but they always come back. And another key base hit for Randy Velarde. Fastball in, and he gets enough of it to pull it past Brocious at third base. Brocious makes a dive. He can't come up with it, but in doing so, he makes Hernandez go back to second, and he's only able to go over to third base. And there you see Washington holding it, but that also gives Jason Giambi a chance with runners at first and third and one down.
And Oakland with a chance to take the lead here. Jason has walked and flied to left. That play worked once, but it was a long time ago.
You know, the real key hit in this inning was Ramon Hernandez, because they were in a situation where a lot of teams would bunt. But as I said, the Oakland A's do not bunt. And he got a base hit on the first pitch, and that really put this inning in motion.
Clemens wants his catcher to start again.
There's the A's attitude. That's what they have.
Into the dirt. Giambi gets out in front. One ball, no strikes. Clemens was rolling merrily along until this fifth.
He has also thrown a lot of pitches. And even if he gets through this inning, how much longer will he be able to go? Two and 0.
Ben Grieve is next.
You can see a little frustration in Roger in that he thinks a lot of these pitches should be called strikes and they're not being called strikes. He thinks he's made a good pitch and he's not getting the call.
It gets by. Oakland leads, another runner in scoring position.
I don't know how they scored this, but I don't think this should be a wild pitch. That ball is in the air, and Vada just misses it. There's a lot of movement on it, but the ball is clearly in the air when it gets to the catcher. And we'll have to see how they score it as Hernandez comes in to score the go-ahead run for the A's.
Billy Connor's on his way to the mound to talk things over with Posada and with Clemens. Bob Wischusen has a point. Bob.
Well, guys, predictably, the mood on the Yankee bench has done a complete 180, stone-faced all across the board. No one giving a rah-rah speech. They obviously dejected, to say the least, at how the inning has turned out as Giambi's now going to get the intentional walk. They absolutely thought earlier on Ramon Hernandez was going to bunt. They brought in Tino Martinez and Scott Brocious, as Joe alluded to, at the corners. But this is a terrible sacrifice bunting team, the A's. It's actually been dubbed a quote-unquote dirty little secret by the A's media. They just don't sacrifice, and the decision by Art Howe to not sacrifice with Ramon Hernandez has led to a big inning here for the A's. Back to you.
Okay, Bob, thank you. Ben Grieve, the batter. They're at first and second. It's 3-2 Oakland.
Well, they scored that as a wild pitch on Roger Clemens. I disagree. The one that allowed Hernandez to score, I thought it should have been a fastball, but it really doesn't matter.
And they get two out there, and the inning is over. But not before Oakland battles back to take the lead, and at the end of 5. The A's lead the Yankees 3-2. We go to the 6th inning here. It's a 3-2 Oakland game. And Bernie Williams is going to lead things off, the cleanup man for the Yankees.
You know, one of the things we talked about in the open was the heart of a champion, and I think the Yankees are going to have to show that right here. Everything was going along the way that they wanted it. Roger was pitching well. Now adversity is struck, and now you're back to where you were 7, 8 games ago. You've lost 7 in a row. Now you have to say to yourself, we're going to have to pick ourselves up and play better. We're just going to have to score some runs. Roger's pitching well. We have to help him out.
A little bit outside. 2-0 the count. Boy, they need a good inning for Heredia here.
Yes. This is the most important inning. Is we all know that once your team takes the lead, you have to get those 3 outs for them. Give them a chance to get right back at Roger. Keep the pressure on the Yankees if you're the A's.
Two and one. We've been talking a lot about Roger Clemens, and that's easy to do. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But this Heredia, very quietly, has done an outstanding job.
He just made a couple of mistakes in the 2nd inning, and I say they're mistakes because I think it was the wrong choice of pitches. But he has pitched well. He's been in control. But you can't help but talk about Roger because he's a dominant kind of pitcher. He dominates the opposition a little bit more than Heredia does.
That ball's headed for the corner. Bernie can fly. He's on his way to second. Here's the throw. He's in there. And the tying run is aboard with no one out.
And that's exactly what the Yankees needed. They needed to get off to a start here, try to bounce back. And that's the best way to do it. Lead off with an extra base hit. Fastball, and Bernie just rips it into the corner. I mean, this ball's hit like a shot down the line. Stairs plays it well, but Bernie Williams with his speed is in the second easily with a double. And now it'll be up to the rest of the Yankees to move him along.
David Justice is the batter. Activity about to begin in the Oakland bullpen. Doug Jones, the veteran, heats up. Ground ball, that gets the runner to third.
And that's what you want to do. You would like to get a base hit, but you have to pull the ball to the right side to move the runner over into score position, and David Justice does the job.
And gets greeted by his teammates. They know that's a big play.
Well, they try to throw the pitch away. It's supposed to be a sinker away, and it is away, but David Justice has made up his mind he's going to pull the ball, and when a good hitter makes up his mind he can pull it, he's going to pull it. This is something that Art Howe does that a lot of managers would not do, and that is play the infield in when you have the lead. He played the infield in on Sunday with runners at second and third and one out in a tie ball game. So he does this quite often.
Tino Martinez 1 for 2. Outside, 1 ball, no strike.
The theory is that if you play the infield in, you take a 300 hitter and make him a 350 hitter. You add about 50 points to a guy's batting average because if he hits the ball sharply at all, it's not at the infielders. They cannot chase it down.
Fly ball into left field. Grieve on the move. Runner tagged. He'll walk home. And just like that, we're tied again. Sacrifice fly, RBI.
And you have to give the Yankees credit. I mean, they bounced right back. If this was a team that was feeling sorry for itself, they could have gone away. But they went right out there and got that run back. So you have to give them credit.
The way the last 10 days of the season went for the Yankees, they were probably just happy to be losing only 3-2.
Good point.
Jones has some company now in the bullpen. Another right-hander up and throwing. Posada the batter, and he takes a strike.
That's the way the Yankees of '98 played, the team that won 114 ball games. They manufactured run. The guy get a base hit, the ground out, a fly ball, and you get a run home.
Jeff Tam has joined Jones in the bullpen. One and one, the count. Posada has singled, scored a run. He's flied to left.
Heredia still has a relatively low pitch count. He's at 76 pitches with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
He walked him, and Luis Sojo, the batter.
That was a similar situation to what Roger Clemens had in the bottom of the 5th inning, where he was in a situation with Jason Giambi at the plate, and he wasn't about to give in and let Giambi hit the ball out of the ballpark. So he tried to pitch around him, so to speak, and ended up throwing a wild pitch. Well, there was a 3-1 pitch there where Posada, who hits home runs, was in a situation he wasn't going to let him hit it out. He'd rather pitch to Sojo.
He doubled in a run back in that 2nd inning. All of a sudden, Heredia having a little trouble finding the strike zone, and that's the reason for this meeting. By the way, do you like the designated hitter?
No.
Not even a little bit.
I shouldn't say that, but no, I think there was a time for it. I think there was a reason for it. When they brought it in, the American League attendance was down, and they wanted to show something different. I think it was great. I just think that baseball should be the same all over, and I don't think they will have it in the National League. Therefore, I think that eventually they will do away with the DH. But there are American League teams and fans who love it. So whatever the fans love, I think, is the key. If they love it, then I think it has to stay. Canseco loves it. I mean, that's what he said. I mean, he's become a DH. And that was the purpose of it before, was to be able to keep stars in the game a little longer in the American League, who were, drawing cards.
Bad for announcers. There's not enough second guessing with the strike right in there to Sojo.
Well, managers will tell you they prefer managing in the National League because there's more to do as a manager. Pretty much in the American League, you put the lineup out there and let them play. Although I think Art Howe has made a lot of decisions down the stretch that have really helped this ball club.
Fly ball into left center field. And that's that. But the game is tied. 1 hit, 1 run, no errors, 1 left. This Saturday at 2:30 Eastern, Notre Dame football returns to NBC as the Fighting Irish, led by super sophomore running back Julius Jones, returns home to face off against Pac-10 champion Stanford. That's Notre Dame against Stanford, Saturday at 2:30 Eastern on NBC. And here we go to the bottom of the 6th. There's your score. Tejada, the batter.
And we talked about Heredia needing to shut down the Yankees. He wasn't able to do it, but I think Roger, you're starting to get it late in the ball game. Roger cannot afford to give up any more runs.
He falls behind here, 2-0. He was not falling up behind at all in the first 4 innings.
That was the key to his success. He was throwing strikes, getting ahead of the hitters. But for that 1 inning, I think the A's were smart enough to realize he's starting everyone off with a fastball, and they attacked the fastball on 3 straight at-bats.
Hit hard, but right at Derek Jeter. 1 out. Tejada hit it right on the nose, but right at him.
Well, Jeter didn't have a lot of time to move on this ball. This ball is hit real hard with overspin. And you see what he does. He fights it so he stays right there. good job of staying with that ball. Because that ball could have jumped over him if he wouldn't have stayed there. You see, he wanted to keep his eyes on the same level, so he just kind of went down with the ball.
Matt Stairs, the batter, former Montreal player, and he's a native of Canada. High and away, 1 ball, no strikes. Pop foul back and out of play. In case you joined us late, in 10 innings, Seattle beat the White Sox in playoff action today, 7-4. And in regulation, St. Louis 7-5 over Atlanta.
One of the things I've noticed from watching the A's, Skip, is when they are in a tie ball game late in the game as they are, they all go for it. I mean, they're not trying to hit singles right now. They all let it all hang out, trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark. They're all trying to get good extension and drive the ball.
Stairs waits. Ground ball. Clemens has to get over. He does. And next to play, Martinez got lost in no man's land. 2 down.
One thing you have to always be impressed with is the way Roger covers first base and how he manages his position. Once he throws the baseball, he becomes a defensive player, and he does a great job all the time. I mean, he gets over there and he gives the second baseman a good target, because that's a very difficult play to make. Now, this is difficult for the second baseman to hit him on the run, but Roger gets there in plenty of time. He's under control, so that allows the second baseman to make an easy throw.
Chavez, the batter, with 2 out, no one on. To the screen, 0-1. Everybody really bearing down on this playoff game as they should, with the possible exception of the radio voice of the Yankees, John Sterling. His wife expects triplets in about a week.
Oh, man.
If that doesn't get your attention, brother. Fouled away. John's got in a sense, he's praying for road games. (3-3) our score here.
And this is the way a playoff game is supposed to be. A lot of tension late in the ball game.
We might have some free baseball here. That's what we call extra innings down south. It's tied now, 3-3.
There's Joe Torre. Joe said this has been the strangest of the 5 seasons that he's had in New York. A lot of things have really changed, and there's Roger getting some attention again. He said there were a lot of things that he's had to do differently this year than he's done in the past, just because of the makeup of the ball club.
The 1-2 pitch. Line, base hit. This time it's Oakland with a 2-out single. Chavez is 2 out of 3, and Jeremy Giambi the batter.
And one thing you see from the A's, with 2 strikes, they do not cut down. I mean, he still takes a hard cut. He just goes the other way with it. They do not cut down on their swing with 2 strikes. A lot of times they'll strike out, but a lot of times they'll hit home runs with 2 strikes, where other teams will be slapping the ball around. This is a very unique ball club. They really are, and they're fun to watch.
Strike called over the outside corner to Jeremy Giambi.
And that's the best pitch Roger has thrown in quite some time. That was perfect location with a lot of velocity, right on the outside corner. Nothing that Jeremy Giambi could do with that one. There you see he's up to 101. That's what we're talking about.
A ball and a strike. I see your point. Joe Clemens pays no attention to the base runner at all. And he's right.
Exactly. I mean, but he doesn't have to with the A's. I mean, he just say, hey, I'm going to concentrate on the hitter. And anytime you allow the pitcher to give 100% concentration to the hitter, really it affects the way that a guy pitches to you. If he has to worry about the runner at first, give a little bit of his concentration there, that's some that he takes away from the hitter. But the A's just do not believe in it. And again, we can't complain because it works for them.
Here they are. Look out. Pretty good brush back there.
Well, Clemens again comes inside up under the hands, and Giambi barely gets out of the way, but Clemens does not want them to be able to lean out over the plate to get his splitter. So you have to come off the plate inside every once in a while.
2-2, a runner at first, 2 out. 3-3 our score. Runner goes. Fouled away. As soon as we talk about that, off he goes.
Well, they've been successful 17 out of 22 times with Roger on the mound. So it's not a big risk to take off with Roger pitching, because the better the pitcher, the better the rhythm. The better the rhythm, the easier it is to steal. And it has always been that way.
Into right field. That's going to get down for a hit. First and third with 2 out. And Ramon Hernandez, the batter.
Well, Roger made a good pitch. He jammed Giambi, but Giambi was able to get enough wood on it that he was able to dump it into right field. Now watch as the fastball in, and he jams him. But he got just enough of it. He hits it right off the handle there, and he gets enough of it that he dumps it into right field in front of Paul O'Neill. And Chavez goes around to third, and O'Neill throws behind Giambi.
So we got 2 on, and we got 2 out. Hernandez has flied to center, and he's singled home a run. He's also scored 1. Oakland got 3 in the 5th, and they threaten here now with 2 out in the 6th.
And there's Art Howe. He's really the guy that keeps everything on an even keel for the Oakland A's. He's relaxed, as you can see right there. Just standing there, he's very relaxed. That keeps his team relaxed.
Little bit inside, 1 ball, no strikes. He reminds me a little bit of Joe Torre. They're both the same kind of manager.
Well, the team takes on the personality of his manager. If the manager panics, the team will panic. And Art has not panicked down the stretch in all these tough ball games, and you can see he's very relaxed here. His team takes his cue from the manager.
A home run cut, but he came up empty. 1-1. Chavez at third, Giambi at first. Rogers starts the old fake to third, throw to first. It worked in 1917, I think. No, I saw Barry Bonds get caught on that.
Yeah, you're right.
A few years ago. San Diego there. Into the dirt. A good play by Posada to save that runner from third.
That was an excellent play there by Posada. This is not an easy pitch to block. And watch, it hits way out in front. And he's just able to get the tip of his glove on it as he was sliding over. It's easy to block them if they're close to you, but that ball is way out in front of the plate. You really do not know whether it's going to skid or bounce. He was fortunate enough that he got enough glove on it to stop it.
2-1. It's 3-1 in the top of the order, and Terrence Long would be next.
Well, Roger comes inside with a fastball. He got him to chase this pitch for the first strike up and in, but he did not swing at that one. Well, what that really does there is it eliminates the hit and run. You keep the runner at first base from taking off here 3-1, and that's what Roger was trying to do. See, because you're not sure that he's going to the plate, so you can't break on his first movement.
Line down the right field line. Fair ball. One run is in. The other runner's around third. They're going to wave him. The relay. The throw to the plate. He is out at the plate. But Oakland takes the lead. We'll return to Oakland after this message and a word from your local station.
Well, here's the throw. Now watch Paul O'Neill. He intentionally throws it over the head of Luis Sojo. If Sojo catches that ball, this is a longer throw he has to make to the plate. You always want the longest throw to be for the outfielder. You see, he fires it all the way to Tino Martinez. Now it's an easy place to throw to the plate. Now that was a much easier throw for Martinez than it would have been for Sojo. See, he has a strong arm, so he fires it. As long as you keep it down, that's fine. But see how much farther Sojo would have had to throw the ball than Martinez had he caught the ball. Now Martinez has a short throw. You always want the longest throw to come from the outfielder. So that was a good play. It looked like he missed the cutoff man, but I believe Paul O'Neill just made a strong throw back to the infield, and Martinez picked it up and made a short throw, and they were able to cut the runner down at the plate.
And sometimes you'll second-guess the third base coach on a play like that, but he's trying to make him make a perfect play, and they did.
And I think you have to with 2 outs. I think that was the right play. The Yankees just responded well.
That's going to be all for Heredia. Jim Masere's coming on, and we'll be back after this. Tam pitching, and he deals outside. 1 ball, no strikes. This is his first playoff experience. He was 3-3 this year, 2.63 earned run average, 3 saves. Worked 85 2/3 innings, worked in 72 games. He was a busy man.
And this is another situation where the Yankees have to respond. And again, they can respond and still lose the ball game, but the point will be made that they're back on their game.
Both bullpens are still busy. Masere for Oakland, Mike Stanton for New York.
Good pitch there from Tam, because that's a tough pitch to make. 2-0 to Brocious, who is a good fastball hitter, and he was able to pinpoint the outside corner with the fastball.
Athletics lead at 4-3 here. Past the mound. Good play. 1 out. Velarde, a fine play to his right.
Nice play, nice pitch. Fastball away again. Brocious couldn't do much with it, but this is a tough hop. See, the ball's bounced. It actually goes off the glove of Tam, but watch the tough hop. He gets it right there on the short hop. Nice play. As an infielder, you want to catch the ball on the short hop when it first comes off the ground, or you want to catch it on the big hop. The toughest play to make is the in-between hop when it bounces and comes off the ground about 4 feet.
Chuck Knobloch is 1 for 3, and he's the batter now.
Good movement on his sinking fastball. He gets a lot of ground balls, and you can see the movement. That ball started off the plate outside, moved back over the outside corner. And this is the time of the game when you have the lead, you do not want to make a mistake inside. You want to stay away from most of the hitters, because most of them will not hurt you out there.
A ball and a strike to count. Heredia, by the way, went 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He did just fine.
Another perfect pitch out there. I mean, you can't throw a ball any better than this. Look at the target. Watch the catcher's target. Right there. Beautiful pitch.
Broke back over that outside corner. Velarde has another chance. Bad throw, and he missed it. That'll be an E4. You never met an air like that in your life, did you, Joe?
I wish I could say I didn't, but I'm sure I did. It happens, and you see Art not happy, but he doesn't do anything to upset him. Well, he takes a little long, and then I think he looks up and sees that Knobloch is hustling down the line. The ball slips out of his glove, and Giambi not able to make the tag.
Good call by Chuck Merriweather. Tag did miss him.
And so far, at least Tam has been able to keep the ball on the ground. You keep the ball in the ballpark. That's exactly what you want to do in the 7th inning. And you have the lead. But they have to be careful because Knobloch can steal a base.
He had 15 of them on the year. Jeter took a shot at right field and fouled it away.
Willie Randolph over at third base.
Lee Mazzilli coaches at first.
Mazzilli was a good base stealer. Willie was a good base stealer as well. They know how. They were both as players. Leo. Lee Mazzilli. I shouldn't say Leo.
Lee Mazzilli, Leo Mazzoni.
Right. Hernandez throws well from behind the plate, so if they give him a shot at Knobloch, he should be able to make a good throw. So what you try to do is, as Tam is doing, just hold him close, give your catcher a shot at him.
Jeter there reminded you of Pete Rose, didn't he? The way he followed that ball into the catcher's glove.
And I think that's a good thing to do. Just follow the ball all the way. That way you always keep your eyes on the ball. You can see Hernandez giving him the sign to throw to first base. He flipped his thumb up. That usually the sign comes from the dugout where they want him to throw to first base. And Art Howe or another coach calls those pitches, calls a pitch out or for the throws to go to first base. Well, he wants him to throw over there again.
He gets what he desires. He wasn't running, or if he was.
Well, a lot of times, there's a cat and mouse game. As a base stealer, you're on first base. A guy throws over there, you figure he's not going to throw again. So you try to take a few more liberties and get the jump. Art Howe knows that, so he had him throw over there 2 times in a row. It's kind of like a pitch out. Once the guy pitches out, you say to yourself, he's not going to pitch out again. You're always thinking along those lines.
A 1-1. He didn't get it. Tried to pull that ball.
It's a high sinker. A lot of people think the high sinker is easier to hit because it doesn't sink as much, but there's still movement when it's that high. It's a lot easier to hit than the low one, but it's not impossible to hit.
There's one out here, a runner at first. Got him. Jeter out on strikes. Yeah, Tam got himself a good hitter there.
And the thing that's impressive about Tam is the movement on his fastball. Watch this. And watch you can even see the movement. See, the ball starts outside corner, and by the time it gets to Jeter, it's already moved in on him. You can see the rotation there moving down and in. Look at that. I mean, a lot of movement. Watch where the catcher's, you can see the catcher's glove started outside, and it had to move all the way across the plate.
Art Howe on his way to the mound, and that's going to be all for Tam and Messier. This time we'll get the call, and we'll be back to see what happens next right after this.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
You see the score. There's a runner at first with 2 out, and Paul O'Neill the batter as Jim Messier makes his way into the game. Tam did all right. Should have been out of the inning. 2/3 of an inning. He struck out 1. Runner reached on an error.
Well, Messier's best pitch is his screwball, which he uses a lot against left-handed hitters, and we'll see how he approaches Paul O'Neill.
Now time is called by Bill Welke. Another beach ball has made its way onto the field. But why do people do that?
Why do you have a beach ball at a game, right?
That's right. Matt Stairs made a nice play on it.
And he dunks it, as did Terrence Long.
And now we're about ready to go. We're in the 7th, and we got a good one going.
And they are aware of Knobloch at first base, as they should be.
Fly ball right field. 1 pitch from Messier, and the inning is over. No hits, no runs, an error, and a runner left. Bottom of the 7th. Still 4-3.
Africa, the retirement specialist. By Compaq. Welcome to the new IT. Inspiration technology from Compaq. And by Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the 3 most important words are, "Hey, beer man."
4-3 Oakland, that's our score as we look at our March 1st game summary. And there it is.
Well, a 3-run 5th inning for Oakland. And Hernandez has been the big hitter for the A's. He got 2 clutch base hits.
And there's your March 1st game summary. Mike Stanton, the new pitcher for New York.
And it's important for Stanton to pitch well. He and Jeff Nelson were the guys who were supposed to get to Rivera, and they struggled for a while, but they've started to throw the ball much better lately.
Right in there, it's 0-1.
He has a curveball, as we just saw, a good fastball, and a change.
Broken bat, grounder to third. Grossness across the diamond, 1 away. So Stanton breaks a bat as he gets along. Here's Velarde.
Well, if you're the A's, you're ahead 4-3. You have Jason Isringhausen as your closer, and you want to get to him, but you better try to get an insurance run here, because the Yankees are not going to go quietly.
A little insurance could never hurt.
Exactly.
Almost hit him. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch. It's even now, 1-1.
Looking back, Roger Clemens was cruising along. He threw the ball really well, and he's averaged like 107 pitches this season per game, and he threw 111 in the ball game tonight.
A little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, we talked about the Yankees having to play well and show that all their parts are working again. This is just as important for Stanton to pitch well here and show Joe Torre that he's back so he'll have confidence in him for the remainder of the series.
Upstairs, an insurance runner is on with 1 out.
And as I said, he and Jeff Nelson has started to pitch better, but this is a situation where you have to continue to throw well.
Friday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, we'll be back to bring you Game 3 of this division series between Oakland and the Yankees. That's the American League Division Series Game 3, Friday night Eastern on NBC. Joe will have Game 2 for you, along with John Miller on ESPN. Oh, you do the Mets and Giants?
I'm doing the Mets and the Giants, yeah. I think Fox is going to do this tomorrow night.
I can't keep most of it.
Well, there are going in a lot of different directions.
Joe Buck and Tim McCarver will be here. That's right. But I'm sure we'll have Game 3 on NBC.
Friday night. And you see Jason Giambi has struggled against Stanton.
What can we do to sabotage the booth for those guys that are coming in the front? Fly ball foul and out of play. It's even now, a ball and a strike.
This is as good a first game as you're normally going to get in any series. I mean, both teams have played well. There have been some key moments. And they're basically all heroes, not a lot of ghosts. Everyone has played well. Clemens pitched well. Heredia pitched well.
Line, base hit. Justice gets it in, 2 on, 1 out. Pretty good job of hitting against the southpaw. And here's Ben Grieve.
Well, Giambi just goes the other way, and he does this very, very well. Fastball away, and he just rips it to left field. There's a difference between going the other way and driving the ball the other way. You see, I mean, he just drives it the other way. A lot of hitters try to go the other way, and they just flip it over there. But you can see he's driving it to left field, and that's why he's such a good hitter. He's always trying to hit the ball hard.
Jeff Nelson in the Yankee bullpen. Grieve is 0 for 2 with a walk. There go the runners. A strike, but they're in there.
And isn't that amazing for the Oakland A's? They only had 40 stolen bases during the season. But you know what the difference is? Art Howe is an American League manager in a National League body. That's what he is. He played his career in the National League as we see them get a great jump off of Stanton. And there's not even a throw by Posada.
And now the infield has to come in. A little blooper. Now's a 2-run hit.
Yeah, this is very dangerous, and we talked about an insurance run with the infield this close. And a guy like Grieve hitting, anything that he hits sharply, if it's not directly at the infield, is going to go through for a base hit. And you see he's 20 for 38 in this situation. He's gotten him in a little over half the time.
Strike called outside corner.
That's not a good percentage for a good hitter.
Stanton desperately wants a strikeout here. He does not want the ball to get into play. pretty well hit.
We were talking to Art Howe before the game, and he was saying that he didn't hit and run a lot, he didn't steal a lot of bases, but he said we hit into a lot of double plays. And Ben Grieve led the major leagues in hitting into double plays this year, and they were in a double play situation, as you could see, runners at first and second, and that explains why he stole third base. He was trying to stay out of the double play.
And he succeeded in that very nicely.
So you have to give Art a lot of credit. I mean, he really seems to be able to make the right moves at the right time.
The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, this crowd got quiet after the Yankees jumped on top 2-0 in the second, but they're into the action now. Right at him, double play, and the inning is over.
Well, he didn't ground into a double play, but he still hit into a double play.
Oh, that's a big, big play. At the end of 7 now, it's still Oakland 4-3. You start with Bernie Williams, then David Justice, then Tino Martinez. 4-3 Oakland our score, Joe Morgan.
These are the key batters, I believe, in the game for the A's. If they can get to Jason Isringhausen, their closer, they should be in pretty good shape, but you have to get through Bernie Williams and his group first.
1 ball, no strikes to count. Joe Morgan, Skip Carey with you. If you're wondering what in the world Carey's doing here, I'm pinch hitting for Bob Costas, who's on his way back from the Olympics in Sydney. And will be back for the League Championship Series.
So we're stuck with each other for 3 more.
That's it.
2 or 3 more games, right?
Yeah, they picked me because Bob and I are so much alike physically. 1-1 the count.
Bernie Williams has normally more power from the right side, but he stepped it up a little bit now, and he's starting to hit more home runs from the left side. Good fastball.
He really spreads out from the left side, too, doesn't he?
That was a great pitch there because he had thrown him a pitch running away, and then he comes right in under the hands. Good career numbers there. Postseason home run. There's the screwball.
That pitch is really hard on your arm, isn't it?
Yes, it is, but it's also hard on the hitter.
Yes.
Especially after following the fastball in under the hands. He wants to get him out with a screwball, so you're going to, with 2 strikes, you'll probably see him throw at least another screwball here and maybe another one after that. Screwball.
1 away. That's something sizzling, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the Law and Order promo? That's my favorite show. I love it.
Good show, you're right. Joe Torre looking over his scouting report, probably on Messier to know. You have scouting reports that tell what a pitcher likes to throw in 1-and-1 situations, 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and you try to relay that to the hitters.
Justice is 2 out of 7 against Messier in his career.
And this is the guy that you really do not want at the plate if you're the A's. If you're Art Howe, this is the guy. I mean, he hit 41 home runs this year, and he's a big game performer. He's a guy that just loves to come up big in games like this.
Justice had a word for the umpire, but never turned his head to show the umpire up.
There's that screwball. That's why he was upset about that pitch. It's a different count. If the count's 2-1, he has to throw a different pitch. But because it's 1-1, he can come back with that screwball And you can see him bend his elbow there to get it moving away.
One and two, high and away. So the count's even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nasir wants to do business on this pitch. He doesn't want to go 3-2.
I think you're in a situation, if you're Mercier, though, even if you go 3-2, you have to throw him a screwball. You can't let Justice hit the ball out in one swing.
Well, we're going to get that 3-2 pitch.
We'll find out here. Tino Martinez is on deck. He hit 16 home runs, and Justice hit 41. Should be a screwball. Yeah.
And he got him with it.
And that's beautiful pitching because he set him up by coming inside with a fastball to go to 3-2, but he had his mind made up all the time that the out pitch was going to be a screwball. Now watch this. It's not as good a screwball as the other one, but you can see it moving away, and Justice had to protect inside because he threw him a fastball a pitch before, but he comes back away with that good screwball. Beautiful. That's great pitching right there to a good hitter.
Martinez is 1 for 3 against Nasir in regular season play.
We wondered if the A's would be nervous. I tell you what, they have not shown me any sign of nerve tonight because everyone they've called upon has done their job so far.
It's been a fine ball game.
And the Yankees are a team that's known for getting a lot of base on balls, taking pitchers deep into the count. And so far in this ball game, the A's have issued only 1 base on ball.
That's a big part of this game.
Exactly.
That should be easy. A 1-hopper. Nasir does his job. 1-2. We go here to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Golf returns on Saturday at 12:30 Eastern as NBC presents coverage of the Solheim Cup. 2 years ago, the USA withstood a final day European charge to retain the cup. Now Julie Inkster and Team USA look to defend the cup on foreign soil versus Annika Sorenstam and a powerful European team. That's the Solheim Cup, Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on NBC. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Looking ahead to the 9th, the Yankees send up Posada, Soho, and Brocious, or at least those are the scheduled hitters. Tejada leads things off here for the A's. Jason Isringhausen in the bullpen for Oakland.
Skip in 72, 73, and 74 when the A's won the World Championship. They were called the feuding and fighting A's, and they were able to win. Now their slogan is, they are young and they can play. And I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Not a bit. The Yankees aren't exactly chopped liver
No,
either.
the Yankees, I think this Yankee team that we're seeing tonight is a good team. It doesn't mean that they've played poorly because they're trailing at this point.
Stanton deals a strike.
This definitely does not look like the team that lost 15 of 18 games and 7 in a row at the end of the season. And that's what I said at the beginning. This wasn't a must-win for the Yankees. Obviously, they want to win, but they had to get back the confidence that they had lost in September.
Broken bat hit. Tejada's aboard. His first hit of the night. He stole 6 bases this year. For the A's, that's a lot.
Well, Stanton gets the fastball in. You see Posada move in, but he doesn't get it in far enough. Although the bat shatters, that ball was still hit out on the barrel. The bat just shattered. And he got enough of it to get it through the hole on the left side. Now, this is a situation where I think you almost have to bunt. Stairs hasn't played much against left-handed pitching down the stretch, and he hasn't been hitting well.
They threw to first half to see if he's going to show a bunt, but he did not.
He didn't show it, and maybe they're just not going to bunt anyway.
You see, it's not happened often for him.
But you'd also be bunting to move him up over to second base for another left-handed hitter, Eric Chavez.
He didn't show any bunt there. Stairs just 1 for 9 in his career against Stanton.
And you have to be careful because Stanton will pick you off if you get too far over there from first base. I think there are a lot of things going through Art Howe's mind at this point. You have a one-run lead, which is not safe, but if you were to bunt and then have to pinch hit for either Chavez or Giambi, and then you go into extra innings, you're running out of players. So you do not want their bats out of the lineup. And to this point, you have to say everything that he's asked for, they've done, and everything has worked.
Yeah, every button he's pushed has been the right button.
It's been the right button.
Fly ball out of play. A ball and a strike.
Matt Stairs had a fantastic year last year, as did a lot of the Oakland A's, and they've been missing John Jaha from the right side this year, which has hurt them. And Stairs has not had the same type of year as he had last year.
That's low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Eric Chavez is next. Then Jeremy Giambi scheduled, then Ramon Hernandez.
I have to say the Yankee pitchers have showed us a lot anyway, because they've been a little frustrated with Tim Wilkie's strike zone, but they have not done anything other than just, keep it within themselves, and that's very professional. And that's not to say that Wilkie has not had a good game. I'm just saying that they have been frustrated a little bit at times.
Good fastball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, no one out. Whoa.
Well, you have to be careful if you decide to send him, because again, Stanton has a very good motion to first base, a good pickoff move. There's Ron Washington giving the sign.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, no one out.
But one thing Art Howe has been able to do is keep Joe Torre and everyone guessing tonight.
Not running. Popped up into short left. Derek Jeter calls for it. He's got it, 1 down. He went a long way for that ball. Here's Chavez. He has a couple of singles, a couple runs scored in the game.
See Art looking at the lineup. He has Olmedo Signs over there, who is a very good hitter, but he also knows if he brings Signs in, they're going to bring in Jeff Nelson, and he would lose Chavez in case this does go longer than the 9th inning.
Runner at first, 1 down. Time is called. Something else has been thrown on the field.
The baseball got away in the bullpen, I believe.
So here we go. Boy, this crowd now is really rocking and rolling, aren't they? They're having a big time. All their beach balls have been confiscated, but other than that, they're having a whiz-bang time. Good curveball.
Well, Stanton has a good curveball. He has a good fastball and change. He has a lot of good pitches. And it's amazing to me that he did struggle for a time during the regular season. There you see what the runners have done. They've stolen 3 out of 5, but they had 4 pickoffs.
All the way to the screen. Boy, there's a break. Runner in scoring position. And it's called a strike. That would indicate pass ball, I believe.
I would hope so, but
you never know.
You never know. Let's take a look and see if, well, actually, that would be a wild pitch, that one. But I think he called him on the swing. I think he's saying he swung at it. Yeah, you see third base umpire Paul Schreiber saying that he swung at it.
Okay, so everybody's in the clear.
Yeah, everybody's in the clear. It was a strike, and it did bounce.
So it is a wild pitch.
Correct. There's Olmedo signs he's on deck, and he is a really good hitter.
Into center field. That's a hit. Runner around third. Williams up. On a big insurance run for Oakland. Chavez has his 3rd hit of the game, his first RBI.
And the Yankees got a bad break there. I don't think he was going to get Tejada, but they had a shot at him, but the ball hit the mound. There's a little changeup, I believe, or it was a curveball or a changeup. Now watch, Bernie Williams' throw is right on target, but it hits the mound and bounces high in the air, and that allows Tejada to score easily. Good hitting there by Chavez. He didn't hit it hard, but he was able to get it into center field for a base hit. Now watch the throw. He has a shot at it, but see, he hits right on the mound and bounces real high, and there's no chance to get Tejada at the plate.
That's going to be all for our Mike Stanton. And Jeff Nelson is going to check into the game here. The big rangy right-hander makes his way. Bad pitching luck for Stanton. He made a good pitch. Major league hitter got a base hit against him. We'll be back right after this. Runner at first, 1 out. A run is in. It's 5-3 Oakland in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Joe Morgan, Skip Carey with you from Oakland.
And Jeff Nelson, the right-hander that they use out of the bullpen. Again, we're talking about, and they're going to have to pitch well the remainder of this series if the Yankees are going to win. Jeff Nelson and both Mike Stanton to help them get to Rivera in the 9th if they have a lead. Today they're just in to hold it close. And that was a big run there because a 2-run lead, even if they're not able to score anymore, makes a big difference to a closer because he can make one mistake and get away with it. Whereas with a 1-run lead, you can't make any mistakes.
Olmedo signs the batter, and you see the good numbers on him for the year. And he does pronounce it signs.
And he's not able to run well. He's got a hamstring, but he's not able to run well. He's going to probably DH tomorrow, but he is a good hitter.
They've really gotten what they wanted, the insurance run, but they'd be more than happy to get a few more.
Yeah, the insurance run, I think, was the most important. Like I say, to give Isringhausen a chance to make one mistake, because this will be his first time closing for the playoff game as well.
No swing, says Joe Merriweather. 1-2 the count.
And anyone that tells you that pitching in a playoff game or hitting in a playoff game is the same as a regular season game, they haven't won anything yet. Because you have to step everything up one notch to win a playoff game or to win a championship. It's not like a regular season game.
Ramon Hernandez on deck. I tell you, the bottom of the Oakland order has done the job tonight. Chavez 3 hits, an RBI, 2 runs scored. Hernandez drove in 2 runs, scored 1, the number 9 hitter. Line to right. O'Neill runs it down. 2 out. Here's Hernandez, and here's what he did earlier in the night.
But I think this hit in the 5th inning was a big blow of the ball game. They thought he was going to bunt, and the first pitch he singles to right to bring in the run. And then in the 6th inning, he hit the ball in the gap, over his head, over Paul O'Neill's head, and only a great relay by the Yankees kept it from being a 2-run double instead of just an RBI double. I think he's been the key performer for the A's offensively tonight.
Breaking ball for a strike. Curveball well hit to left field, but it appears it will be caught at the wall. David Justice holds it in. We go to the 9th. 5-3, Oakland.
NBC's coverage of tonight's division series is brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When the moment comes, will you have what it takes to finish? Gatorade, is it in you? By Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. By McDonald's, we love to see you smile. And by March 1st. Here's to being first. A new world, a new way. www.marchfirst.com.
Couple of changes for the Oakland A's. Ryan Christensen is in left field now, and on to pitch Jason Isringhausen. Posada leads off the Yankee 9th. 33 saves for Isringhausen on the year. And he starts with a strike.
And what he does, he throws 95, 96 mile an hour fastballs to get ahead, and he has a great curveball. If he gets ahead of you with 2 strikes, you're in a lot of trouble because that curveball is devastating. We'll get a chance to see it here.
0-2. New York fans remember when Isringhausen and Paul Wilson and Bill Pulsifer were supposed to be the Yankee pitchers, starting pitchers of the Mets, starting pitchers of the future.
And here he is as a closer. He was a starter at the point, now he's a closer.
Injuries had something to do with that. Glenn Allen Hill is on deck. He was a shot in the arm to the Yankees late in the year. There's your score, and we're in the 9th.
Isringhausen made the All-Star team this year as a closer, and he only had 1 poor month. August he struggled and actually lost his closing job, and then he came back late August and September and it was perfect.
Posada had a good cut there, but he fouled it back. Well, the debate is over, but the game goes on.
Actually, I think the debate is just starting. If the Yankees lose this ball game, the debate will be, can they come back or not?
It'll be in the Daily News and the New York Post. Did he go? No. Paul Schreiber with a call. That was close.
Very close. And we won't be able to see for sure from here, but watch the barrel of the bat and see if it goes out in front. Look, there's Paul Schreiber. He says no. And he had the best angle in the house. This is the angle that he had, and he was correct.
Two balls, two strikes.
Posada's done a good job here of battling, trying to get on base, trying to bring the tying run to the plate. And that's his job right now, just to get on base any way that he can.
The 2-2. He's worked it full, 3-2. It was 0-2.
This is a fastball, and watch the catcher's target. He'll reach inside. This ball's off the plate inside, and he pulls it back.
Here's the payoff pitch. Got it.
Well, he got him to chase one. After being so patient, Posada ends up chasing a high fastball up and out of the strike zone.
So Glenn Allen Hill is the batter.
There's the fastball up and away. You can see it was off the plate and up outside, and he chased it.
For second baseman Luis Soho, number 31.
Hill for Soho now.
Glenn Allen Hill.
You talked about Glenn Allen Hill when he came over. He gave them a big shot in the arm. And I think the problem is he's a guy that probably has to play a lot more. And it's very difficult for him to come off the bench and pinch hit after sitting around for a while.
Out of play, 0-1. Boy, he is a good hitter. Good, solid hitter.
And the ball just jumps off his bat. That's why he's able to hit so many home runs. He hits a lot of line drive home runs.
I'm sure he's sick and tired of this story, but he's the guy who, when he was with Toronto, had the bad dream about the spiders and went on the disabled list. That's true. I'm not making that up.
True story.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not laughing at his phobia. I'm laughing at you, Skip.
You won't be the first, and you're not going to be the last. A ball and a strike. Scott Brocious would be next. Will be next. Chase one out of the zone there, it appeared.
And I think it's very important for the A's, for Isringhausen to have today to try to close. Because it's going to be difficult for him to come in and maybe close in New York. So getting one early opportunity under his belt is great.
2 out. So far, he's done pretty well. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts.
Well, this is a good fastball. Look, the guy throws 95 miles an hour. It's very difficult to get up there and catch up with him. This ball's about letter high, and it's got some giddy up on it.
Brocious tonight has doubled in a run. He has struck out, and he's grounded to second. Outside, ball 1. Well, if they get an out here, we've got to go in a hurry. Thanks, Joe. I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it as well. And just think, we have a few more of these.
Yeah, yes, we do. That should be the ball game. Oakland takes a 1-0 lead in the series. They win the game by a final score of 5-3. And the Chevrolet player of the game is Ramon Hernandez. You see his numbers on the night. So, for Joe Morgan and Bob Wischusen, this is Skip Carey saying so long from Oakland, California, where the A's have beaten the Yanks 5-3 and taken a 1-0 series lead. Friday night at 8 Eastern, we'll be back to bring you Game 3 of this series between Oakland and the Yankees. Coming up next, following your late local news, it's an all-new Tonight Show starring Jay Leno. Tonight, Jay welcomes Jackie Chan, Yasmin Bleep, and musical guest Fish. So long, everybody.